Everyone has their own like unique value proposition, whether or not you were also a negotiator or federal agent beforehand, you have your own background and experience. So as I go through these slides, think about what makes you unique. Typically it's your background, typically it's a prior career, unless you're 18 years old. And so think about that like in the back of your mind of how can I make myself stand out while on YouTube? And who here is with EXP? I'm curious. Okay. I'm a top 1.5% producer. That's what EXP calls icon, just so you guys know, that's what icon means. EXP has like 83,000 agents. And I made the top 1.5% after my first year, and that's because of social media. And me running my mouth. Again, like I said, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm loud, I talk a lot. So I've closed between 40 and 50 homes a year. And I haven't lived in the city in which for the last 3.5 years. So you don't need to live wherever you're selling in order to maintain your business and continue growing your business as well. Oh, also, I've never once paid for a lead. I have always been a solo agent. I've never been on a team or anybody that like any sort of system that feeds me leads like Zillow or anything like that. It's all been organic. And I help agents how to do the same thing. So why social media? You guys probably already are bought in on social media, being that that's what today's entire topic is about. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have shown up. But in case you didn't know these stats, according to the NAR, 87% of real estate agents are on Facebook and somewhat contribute. A little bit less than that, 62% are on Instagram. But where we make our money, baby, is that 26% that is on YouTube. Because the agents that are on YouTube, the 26% of them, what they post on YouTube is shit. And you can make yourself stand out. Is it okay if I curse?
Yes, please.
Someone said, please. Okay, perfect. And then on the right-hand side here, as far as content goes, when you put stuff out there, you're spending time, effort, maybe some money if you choose an editor, to make a video one time, and that video lasts forever. Unlike when you go to host an open house, you're doing it one time, and then you gotta do it again later, or on the next Saturday, next Sunday. Overall, social media, especially YouTube, is evergreen content where you're doing it one to many. Have you guys heard that, like the one-to-one versus one-to-many? Yeah, so it's one time of you making a video, and many people will see it, unlike home selling seminars or buying seminars, which could be considered one-to-many, but it's a lot harder and a lot more effort. Or cold calling, that's one-to-one, and that's gonna take a lot of time. I've never cold called, or actually, that's a lie. I tried cold calling 2 times. I made 2 cold calls ever in my life. I'm from New York, and I know the way that I respond to cold calls, and I never want to be spoken to that way. So I was like, cold calling is not for me. I'd rather have the right people come to me, and that's exactly what I'm going to teach you. Having the agents or the clients that like you already come to you. At the bottom here, who here has seen this formula? Okay, I'm getting some shakes. I feel like I made this up. Not the know, like, trust, because everyone's heard of, oh, people have to know, like, and trust you. We've all heard that. But with YouTube specifically and social media in general, there's a 6-part formula in order for you to get a closing. Clients have to know you, like you, trust you, and be ready to buy a house or sell, willing to do so, and able, financially able. So I'll think about that formula too as I'm going through these slides. Everything in green, social media covers. They know you already, they like you already, they trust you already, otherwise they wouldn't call you. And they're already willing because they booked a call on your calendar. So the only 2 portions of that 6-part formula you have to solve for is, are they ready? Like, are they looking to purchase now or like 5 years from now? And are they financially able? So that's it.
It's over.
It's over. Thank you for coming. So overall, what I'm going to cover today, I just explained why social media. I'm also going to cover the 3 different content types later on in the presentation, as well as a lot on YouTube, again, because that's where we can make our money. The 26% of agents that are in it, girl. Instagram tips, Facebook tips, as well as how to 2x your business first, and then how to 3x your business step by step. And then of course I'll cover exactly what to say in these videos, how to find and hire and train, if you need to, an editor, but you don't need an editor. The equipment to use, and the second part of this presentation, we're gonna take a break after I'm done with social media. The second part of it is gonna be the automations, a little bit of AI, the systems, and the processes that I use. So that way you can do the same thing. Starting with YouTube, my favorite topic. Again, 26%. Majority of the agents that are posting on YouTube, it's just home tours. That's it. There's no face, there's no personality, there's no voice. It's just a random icon that the viewers see without a face, some team logo that says, oh, here's a listing, here's the exact address, and they hope for the best. That is the bare minimum of what you can do on YouTube, but I don't even suggest doing that at all. If majority of the agents that are posting on YouTube, the 26%, are posting that, by you posting just a typical talking head, showing your face, showing your personality, no matter how boring you are, you can be boring on YouTube and succeed. Trust me, just take a look on YouTube of these real estate agents, they're boring. So you can stand out. With YouTube, you wanna make sure that before you start your channel, you know exactly who you're talking to. You're either gonna be targeting listings, sellers, or buyers. It's one channel or the other. Never confuse, never make one channel for both buyer clients and for listing clients. They're looking at different things. So if you ever have any questions, who already has a YouTube channel, actually? Okay, perfect. Perfect. You want to make sure that you're answering the question of who's gonna be searching for this? Are people searching for this? And I'll get into some mistakes in a bit. But overall, one channel per audience. If you want to work more listings, then make a listing-only channel of why you are the best real estate agent to help save them the most money. And same thing for the buyer side, but different channels. And after 1 year of consistent effort, I made 200K. This is no promises. I cannot obviously promise that you will make the same. Well, you guys are California. I sell Tucson, Arizona homes. On a good day, my purchase price is $365. So I made 200K my first year of doing it, of YouTube. Overall, when people think YouTube, they're like, oh my gosh, now I have to be a content creator, and now I have to do my hair, and now I have to XYZ. No, you don't. Or I don't know what to say, I'm a little camera shy. Take a shot. Do whatever you need to do to get ready. Seriously, I can't. What?
It's a party.
It is a party. But seriously, when you're recording, you're likely gonna be by yourself. I do a lot of talking head, and in the beginning I did take a shot or two beforehand, but you're having fun. And whoever you are, whatever your personality is try to 2x that, maybe 3x that, because it kind of gets lost, in my opinion, in translation once you put the camera on. You think that you're bringing this energy, and then you watch yourself, and you're just like, my name is Allie Garcet. Yeah, exactly. So you're not trying to be an influencer. This is the biggest myth, and one of the biggest ways in which agents just never start. They're like, oh no, I don't have the perfect conditions, the stars don't align, something is in retrograde. Come on. Okay, so social media is not for views, it's not for subscribers. Where you make your money is, do they book a call? You don't need a big channel. There are a lot of channels that I know of, that I've seen, of real estate agents that have tens of thousands of subscribers. They don't make money. My rinky-dink little channel of 1,000 subscribers, I close 40 to 50 homes a year from that. And this is proof. 8,000 views. And that may seem like a lot, depending on where you're at. It's not. So my overall, the message to you is, you don't need a big following. You don't need a lot of views to get a good business. Because as you continue to make more and more videos, it compounds. And then your business is only going to increase. My 5-step YouTube realtor process. Number 1 is niching down by city. You guys are in Palm Springs. If you were in a bigger city like LA, I might niche down even more to the actual suburb of LA, being that LA is so big. I sell in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson's about like an hour drive from one side to the other. I sell all of Tucson, plus like the surrounding neighborhoods as well. So mine is buying in Tucson, Arizona. That's the name of my channel. It's not clever. It's simple, it's to the point. Because what are buyers going to be searching? How to buy in Tucson, Arizona. Buy a house in Tucson, Arizona. I want to answer their question. By the way, I'll tell this later on, but don't search my channel and definitely don't subscribe because the algorithm messes it up. Never share your channel with anyone else. YouTube spends enough money on their own algorithm. You're not smarter than YouTube. Let YouTube do its thing. Overall, so once you have like the channel name of the city that you're selling in or city that you're working in, whether it's buyers or sellers, agents make the mistake of posting the just listed, the open houses, the video home tour, which is okay. You can make money in anything. I just think you can make money faster if you show your personality. People know what the hell you look like before they meet you for the home tour for that house. On the right-hand side is what people actually search. Moving to LA, buying a house in Palm Springs, property taxes in Palm Springs, best suburbs in Dallas. So overall, think about what are my home buyers or sellers searching and make a video of that. Step 2 is making relocation content. I mainly work buyers. I love buyers. My system is down with buyers, so that's mainly what this presentation is going to be covering. But you can do the same thing in reverse for listings, okay? My content categories for to get buyer clients booking calls with me are video titles such as buying in city, moving to city, the pros and cons of Tucson, Arizona, the cost of living, best neighborhoods, neighborhood A versus neighborhood B, neighborhood C versus neighborhood D, neighborhood A versus C, A versus D, the whole factorial there. The living in city, what is it actually like living in this city? And then the moving mistakes. What it doesn't cover is what those channels have that have maybe tens of thousands of views that were clearly going for views and not for appointments, which is the hottest restaurant right now, which is where to do laundry, which is all these super, honestly, too niche of topics because YouTube, on the buyer side, is collecting people that are looking to move across the country. Do they give a shit where the nearest pizza place is? No. They want to know the school districts. They want to know, is it safe? Are there sidewalks? Can I walk my dog outside? Do I feel comfortable? They don't care where the taco place is. And they definitely don't care about the manager of the taco place. They're looking to buy a house, so in my opinion, don't be wasting your time trying to get too much of like culture of the city. They're not there yet. You're getting too far ahead of the game. How long should the videos be? Honestly, as long as it takes for you to provide as much value as possible without repeating yourself, without going too far, without boring the client or the audience member. As soon as the value ends, make your CTA, your call to action, and then cut the video. So whether that video is 4 minutes long or 45 minutes long, of course, the longer the better if it's actually entertaining, but make it natural. The call to action can be a bunch of things. It could be a lead magnet, like a home buyer guide or home selling guide or mistakes guide or anything like that. In my opinion, my call to action is just book the damn call. Skip the PDF, skip the XYZ. The videos are the lead magnets. So you don't need to do anything extra. Step 3 is how you build trust through long form content. This is why I like YouTube so much more than short form content, because I'm sure you guys have heard this stat before, where people need 7 hours of seeing the same brand to even recognize what that brand is. and in order to start building trust. So if 7 hours is 420 minutes, here we go doing public math as a realtor, and if each video is 15 minutes long, that's 28 videos for you to build trust. That may sound like a lot, and it is when you're first getting started, but I promise you in the long run, it's not a lot. Because how many open houses would you have to do otherwise? How many cold calls or mailers would you have to do otherwise? When the clients reach out, they already trust you. So we have that formula again on the right-hand side here. They know, like, and trust you, and they're willing, clearly. So all you have to do is find out, are they ready and able? And the best part about YouTube is 90% of the time, they're not shopping agents. They have watched so many videos of yours with their kids, with their spouse, on the TV, not on their phone, on the TV. They play you in their living room, that they're bought in. They're like, I can't believe I'm meeting you right now. And it's not about the ego boost, it's about the trust that you've built to where they don't care about other agents. They've probably seen them, but they didn't book a call with them, they booked a call with you. And that's what's important. Again, it's not meant for you to go viral. Don't be disappointed or discouraged if your first 30 videos get 10 views each. Always think, how many cold calls would I have had to do during that time? How many mailers would I have had to send? How much money would that be? Step 4 is the conversion. Once you get these clients booking calls with you, this is how I do it. There are several ways to do it. A lot of agents will just put their phone number out there saying, hey, you've watched my videos. Thank you. Call me. Here's my number. They'll put their phone number on the screen. I don't suggest putting your personal phone number, but if you have a CRM number, do that. Because people will call, they're gonna see those videos later on down the road, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, and you're gonna wanna change your number after that. Trust me, I do. And then, so what my process is I throw YouTube videos out there. I put research into it, and we'll talk about that, about what to say exactly. My call to action at the end and in the middle of the video is, if you like this type of video, I'm making these videos just for clients like you. So book a call. The link is in the description. We're gonna meet over Zoom. I'm actually gonna be the one there. Make sure your spouse is on the call, otherwise I will have to reschedule. Ha ha ha. I've been in this position before where the husband thought that he was in charge of everything, and sorry, I know you're not. So I need your spouse on there. Make a little joke out of it. Then after that, after they book a call with me, which I use Calendly. Does anyone else here use Calendly? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. There are a lot of different options for Calendly. Calendly is a way for people to access your calendar, book a call, answer some questions and intake forms. That way you get a sense of, who is this person? Are they serious? Are they not? And then they automatically go on your calendar. Calendly is a paid thing. It's like $200 a year. For me, it's worth it. But there are some free options out there like Google, if you like Google Meets instead. I like Zoom. So I use Calendly. There are a lot of other options. Once that happens, Calendly automatically texts me as soon as a buyer books a call with me saying, Tammy, with this phone number, booked a call for this Friday at 4 p.m. The buyer email has been sent out already. So then I go on my calendar, my Google Calendar, and I look at all of the questions that they answered already. So I can get a sense of, what are we working with? Is this top priority? Is this like a now client or a later client? Just get a little bit of a bigger sense. I then copy and paste their name, email, phone number. I send it over to my TC team. I have 2 TCs. One TC has her own TC. And they prep the buyer broker agreement. I want to get a little bit deeper into this. I have a TC, and when I interviewed TCs, I asked them, this is state dependent, so ask your broker and all blah, 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 all that. I asked the TCs, how much more can I pay you to do more than just contract to close? I'm not trying to touch any paperwork. How much more can I pay you? And they said $100 more. I said, fucking sold. Yeah, I would pay more. So as soon as that happens, I text it over to my TC. They actually have their own Google form. So I just copy and paste. They prep the buyer broker agreement. They send it over to me. This is all before the buyer call, right? Because usually buyer calls are like 2 days out, 3 days out. They send it over to me. I review for accuracy to make sure, is the name correct, the email's correct, all of that, the length of the term, and my percentage. We're not gonna talk about percentages because This is California, and I'm trying to keep my license. So at that point, I just make sure that everything's correct. I don't sign it yet. I don't send the buyer-broker agreement before we've spoken. I will only send it and sign it, and then therefore automatically send once we are on the Zoom call or directly after. Then we meet with the client, we meet over Zoom, we have a good chat, and then I say, the buyer-broker agreement is already in your inbox. And they either sign right then and there, or they'll take the day. Usually it's like 24 hours later, they'll sign, and then we're good to go. But on my phone, I change it. I have a system where I have potential clients as a little yellow and before their name, so that way I can see who's yellow or who's a green circle once they've signed the buyer-broker agreement, so that way I know who priority. Like, you don't treat all clients the same. Overall, you don't need a lead magnet. Your videos are the lead magnet. Don't make any extra effort for yourself. You don't need to do a whole new website, so save your money. You don't need anything extra. You don't need even like a jot form or an intake form, and you definitely don't need fancy editing. In fact, good news for you guys that are starting out on YouTube, that ones that don't have a channel yet, or really for anybody, YouTube and overall social media is going back to a more authentic feel. The viewers are going away from these polished, super edited videos where it just screams salesy. They want like the real deal. They want a real agent who isn't a content creator. They want a real person who's like the agent first, not YouTuber first. So the less editing, I think, the better. And step 5, that is when you can start removing yourself from operations. I just took 4 months off. And, well, sort of off, I'll explain. I went and traveled all over Asia and Australia, and I just got back a couple of weeks ago. I was gone for 4 months, and my business didn't just stay the same, it grew. And that's because of YouTube and the systems that I have. So at that point, you stop going from the person who's picking clients up and showing houses. You stop going from being the door opener to the actual just negotiator, the advisor that they're looking for. Because believe it or not, clients don't actually care if you're the one opening the door for them. What they want to feel is protected by you as their agent. They're hiring you to make sure that their contract is good, they're saving money. Not, will I see her at the open house? Not, will she be there during the inspections? Promise. It's a hard thing to get over if you've been in this business doing that, thinking, because of course you can build rapport as you're showing clients, of course. You can make up for that in other ways, which is communicating, not in person. So I want to go over some KPIs of some real numbers, okay? I help agents one-on-one with this. By the way, I'm not selling anything. I'm sold out with the one-on-one coaching. But with their numbers, as well as my own numbers, I have realized that if you post weekly, after 30 long-form videos, that's when you're gonna get your first client, which is very, very similar to the number of like the 7 hours, and if each video is 15 minutes, you need 28 videos to get a client. So it's gonna take a long time. If you're not gonna be consistent with it, then don't even try. Just stick to other methods. After you've posted 30 long-form videos, between that gap between 30 videos and 50 videos, that's when you're gonna start getting 3 leads a month. Between 50 and 75 videos, that's when it increases to 5 leads a month. This is all year 1. Year 2, you already have XYZ videos in the bank that are only gonna get more and more traction. It's like the stock market. This is not financial advice, but it's better to invest now and wait than invest a lot later on. Like it will eventually compound. So time in the market versus timing the market. Once you hit 50 videos, for every 3 that you post, you will get a closing. Of course, not a promise, but these are the numbers that have worked for me and that I've seen time and time again with my clients. So if you want to do some math and get excited, or at least I get excited about this, I make about $15,000 per closing. Again, I sell $300,000 homes in Tucson, Arizona. Once I hit that amount of videos after I posted 50, For every 3 videos that I post, I get 1 closing, meaning each video that I post, I'm making $5K. For an hour of my time, or maybe 2 hours of my time, yeah, I'm gonna do that time and time again. And then once you hit 75 long form videos, you're gonna start getting inbound clients without posting additional videos. So I had 78 videos before I went to my travels in Asia and Australia. I stopped posting more videos. I went a little ham on my vacation. I had too much of a good time. And so I didn't post a single video, which kind of probably messed up my algorithm for a little bit. But the clients still kept coming. They still kept booking calls. And I hadn't posted an extra video for 3 months, 3.5 months. And so that's once you have enough in the bank, you can start coasting a little bit if you wanted to. Talking over some timelines, again, I just want to set like realistic expectations. Your first 10 videos, nobody's gonna view it. You're gonna get maybe 2 views, 4 views, radio silence. Nobody's gonna be booking a call within your first 10 videos, okay? So please expect that. 10 to 30, you might start getting some leads, but those leads are gonna be low quality. They're gonna be people that are already locals that just want somebody to talk to, retirees, or at least in Tucson. Like, oh, they just want to talk. I don't want to rag, but they just want to talk. They're not looking to buy. They already have a house in Tucson. Then you're also going to get renters. California probably pays for renters. Tucson, Arizona, not even $1. So no. Then you're going to start getting some buyers that are willing, but they're not financially able. So that'll be way long term, like once they qualify and help them out with the lender and stuff like that. But really for your first 30 videos, you're not going to get any solid qualified leads. After is when you start the 3 to 5 a month. Video structure. What do you say? How do you say it? At what point do you say stuff? This photo in the top right corner. Who here has ever searched for a recipe online? Okay. How many times have you gotten the first full fucking page that talks about their family tradition? Nobody cares. I'm already at Walmart. What are the ingredients? Tell me what to buy. I don't need to scroll to the next page in order to find out how many tomatoes I need to purchase. I don't care about your family lineage in Italy. Just tell me. That is exactly what audience members are looking for on YouTube. They don't care about who you are. They definitely don't care about your name. They definitely don't care about what brokerage you're in. They want to know, they've clicked on the thumbnail, they've read the title. Is this person talking about what I just clicked on? Or was this clickbait? Or is this boring? Or does it seem like it's gonna take too long to get there? So the first sentence or sentences is what we call the hook. And you wanna make sure that that hook is fun, maybe a little spicy, but also more so assuaging the audience member to let them know, don't worry, you clicked on the right video. I'm gonna be talking about this and I'm gonna be talking about it right now. That's the most important thing. The length of the video we covered already, whether it's 15, 20 minutes is typically the average. That works pretty well. The longer the better, especially if you're gonna be doing map tours where you're gonna be sharing your screen and saying, hey, this is where the nearest Target is, this is where Trader Joe's is, this is a cool bar, this is a man-made lake, this is where the schools are, XYZ, factual stuff, of course, no steering, duh. The hook we just covered, why should the audience stick around? The soft call to action is what I talk about after I've already given value. You have to earn the right to introduce yourself, is how I think about it. No one's gonna care about my name until I've given them enough value to where they're like, wait, who is this person? I think I like her. At that point, you can do a soft call to action. My soft call to action is really just the introduction. By the way, I'm a real estate agent. I'm making these videos for you, because otherwise I was just telling my clients one-on-one, and I figured, why not post this on YouTube? That's my soft call to action. Now they know I'm an agent. That's it. I didn't ask for the business. Then I give more and more and more value. Overall, I would say 80% of a YouTube video should be value. And then the last is a hard call to action. That's where I'm like, hey, if you want to work with me, I would love to work with you. I'm making these videos for clients just like you. So this is how to work with me. And that's where you can say, call me, my number's on the screen, email me, my email's on the screen, whatever your call to action is. I prefer inbound leads where nobody's calling me in the middle of the night, because they will call you in the middle of the night. They don't care. If you put your phone number out there, you're gonna get some creeps too. Trust me. So that's when you get the booked calls right on your calendar. You can take a screenshot of this. 11 best performing videos for myself and the clients that I've had. And this is pretty much in order as well. You'll see that a lot of these videos are not just positives. Negativity sells. We all know that. Look at the news. My number one performer is, I think it's 7 or 9, 7 scary truths of living in Tucson, Arizona. Again, don't look for it, but make the same thing for yours, because that is the way to build trust. Every other agent is saying Palm Springs is perfect. You're gonna love it here. It only rains 2 days out of the year. They wanna hear the negatives. They want an agent that's real with them, not a content creator. They don't want an influencer. They want somebody that's like, hey, the cops are pretty harsh, and they're always on Highway 2. They're there at every single stop, so you don't wanna go faster than 45. You know, they want like the real information, because the more negativity you post out there, which is true in your opinion, you know, like with your own life experiences of living in Palm Springs, the more they're gonna realize, wait, this agent actually has my back. She's not just trying to sell houses. So keep that in mind. And of course, the true cost of living. In the second video up there, I posted, I made it into a couple of different categories. So if you wanna like write this in your notes or whatever, I broke it up into different categories such as housing prices, of course, cost of food, cost of fun, like how much is the amusement park, or I don't know what you guys have around here, like the zoos, stuff like that. Property taxes, flights, transportation, like should I fly to Palm Springs, or is it worth just driving to LA? How much will you save? Stuff like that. I have that for Tucson versus Phoenix. And then also the moving to the best suburbs, which we've already gone over. And then X reasons not to move to your city. A lot of agents will, in my opinion, kind of mess us up, and they'll say, they'll make every negative into a positive. Like, don't move to Palm Springs if you don't like the sun. You know, like, come on. So make sure that you're giving actual real reasons. So as you go about, like, starting today and from now on, as you're going about your daily life, think about what's annoying about Palm Springs. In Tucson, we don't have that many garbage cans on corners. So you kind of have to like hold your garbage until you're like going into an establishment. And it's really annoying for me. Otherwise the garbage just, I don't know, piles up in my car. Don't judge. But like, it's really annoying. Like I'm from New York, and we have garbage cans on every single corner. Like you can throw stuff out. And that's not the case in Tucson, which then leads to like some dirty roads and stuff like that. So I talk about that. And because it's your experience, right? Like whatever bothers you, I would say make a note on your phone and start making a list of just inconveniences of living in Palm Springs. That is what people want to know. What is not on there are, well, of course, like demographics, population, the history. People don't care about what the population is. They want to know, where should I live? Where am I going to feel safe? Of course, abiding with without steering. The QR code there is where I have a free workshop for you guys on how to make YouTube videos more in full, if you want that. Probably should have said that before. I'm about to click the slides. Let me know when you guys are done. Okay. Did you get it? She got it. Okay, cool. YouTube case studies. These are rare numbers, but it's happened. So Inga, who joined me at EXP, she got 25 buyer, is it clients or leads? Leads with her 4th YouTube video ever. Do not expect that, but I'm showing you what can happen. What Inga had going for her is she was already like trying to make it as an actress. So like she has the personality, right? So anybody with a personality can do pretty well in sales, whatever lead generation strategy you're doing. Kyla, a client of mine, got her first lead within a couple of videos, 12 videos. Liz got 2 listings with fewer than 30 subscribers, 25 subscribers. So again, you don't need a big channel. And 60% of my closings over the last 2 years came from YouTube. I first started out actually with like Facebook and Instagram a little bit more, and in-person stuff because I was still active duty the first year. So I was running my mouth, and now it's changing over to more YouTube. And the best part of this is once you start getting more and more inbound leads, you're going to not be able to handle all of the leads that you're getting. It may sound like too far away right now, but I promise you, you're gonna get to a point where you're like, I'm overwhelmed with the leads that I have and I don't want to refer them because we've all been there where we've handed a client on a silver platter, pre-approved, ready to go, and then that happens. And then the agent drops the ball. The agent doesn't follow up. So you're gonna get to the point where you're like, at this point, I need to increase my prices. And whoever stays, stays. Who here has heard of Alex Hormozy? He's look him up, he's good. He's a business owner. He says, if you guys don't know who he is and you don't give a shit about what he says, but in sales overall, if you're getting more than 60% of your clients, of your calls saying yes, it's time to increase your price. He says 60%. I was pretty much closing at 98%. Almost every single person that was booking a call with me, we were signing the buyer broker. We were signing the listing agreement. And I was like, if he says 60 and I'm at almost 100% and I'm overwhelmed, I can't handle this amount of volume anymore, I think I'm gonna try increasing my prices. Of course, I'm not talking about percentages. Whatever your price is, everything is negotiable. We know this. But take a look at your past closings over the last 6 months, maybe a year, and see how many people said yes. Was it over 60%? Try increasing your price. That's how you can do so ethically, where you're just like, I wouldn't be able to service you at the same level that I want to service you at if I were to take you on as a client. The ROI on YouTube. Oh man. I save 20 hours per client whenever a client comes to me from YouTube because I am no longer being the one driving them around town, scheduling all the showings, being there for the open houses if it's a listing, being there for the inspections. In Arizona, a licensed agent has to be there for every single inspection. I'm sure California too, but not all states, believe it or not. Or just lead generating in other ways. So out of those 20 hours that I saved per client, I took a lot of that just to get some time back for myself. I wasn't even eating lunch. Like, I didn't have time for breakfast. So I started eating. And the other 12 hours I used to make even more videos. It takes me about 4 hours from start to finish for a video. The first hour is like ideating, scripting. What am I gonna say? What's the actual point of this video? What will the audience member get from this? Then the second hour is gonna be actually recording. The last 2 hours is looking over the revisions that my editor has sent me. Some typos here, add some like sound effects here, just make it, I don't know, whatever vibe you're looking for. And so overall it's about 4 hours to make a video. That is how I've gotten my business to 2x, because for every inbound lead that I get, I'm now buying more of my time. Once you get your time back and you use that for even more lead generating, your business can double and triple. So if you post, general rule of thumb, if you post one video a week for a year, you're gonna get around 15 leads. Again, once you get past the 10, once you get past the 30, between the 30 and the 50, you're gonna get around 15 leads. If you close 60% of them, say you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, you're gonna close around 60%. These are very conservative numbers, by the way. You're gonna close 9 homes. These are my numbers for Tucson. Again, your numbers are gonna look very different, being that you're here in Palm Springs. 135K GCI if you're making around 15K per closing. Then talking about your expenses, I pay video editors $100 per video. Really, it's 80. 80 is the baseline per video, whether it's a 10-minute long video or a 60-minute long video, because they know some are gonna be long, some are gonna be short. I tell every editor that I will pay you an extra $20 if you give me each revision back within 48 hours. So it incentivizes us to just move a little bit faster. And so the first year, you're gonna spend a little over 5K in editing. Trust me, it's worth it. But again, you don't let that be an excuse for you not to get started. You don't need to edit. Keep your ums, keep your mess ups, keep it in there. You're human, and that's what the people want to see. So if you have around 10 clients that reach out to you and you spend around $1,000 in showings with showing agents, in somebody to sit in during the inspections, somebody to be there for the final walkthrough, somebody to be there for at the closing table or the key handoff, it's gonna be around 10K. So altogether that's 15K, meaning that you would net 120-ish. That's year one. That's before your videos have even gotten any traction. Your channel is still like a nobody channel. That's how you double your business. This is how you triple it. Once you have too many clients to handle, whatever your commission was, you can now ethically raise it. So instead, say you had 15, we're not talking percentages, and of course, everything is negotiable. But say you were making 15K per closing, and you now increase it to 25K, whatever that percentage looks like for you. Year two, you're gonna get around 40 leads, so more inbound, as well as you having raised your prices. You can make around 600K GCI with the same amount of expenses before, well, a little bit more expenses in the showings because you have more clients. That could net you around 570K, year two. And that's how you will triple your business. Let's talk about very specific in the weeds, how to make your YouTube stand out. You wanna make sure that your photo is of you, and is of you within the last, say 3 years. You know, the running joke that we have. You wanna make sure that people can actually see you, that you're not too far away. You wanna show your face. And you wanna make sure also that your social media, your short form content kind of matches your YouTube. So that way, because people are gonna do research. They're not just gonna watch you on YouTube. They're gonna be like, oh, what is she like on TikTok? What is she like on Instagram? Is this the same photo or am I confused? Am I talking to the same agent? These photos look different, the names are different, what's going on? So you wanna make sure that everything is just standardized. And then, well, this is my channel to help real estate agents. So if you wanna follow this one, you can. Just don't follow the 2-on-1. But overall, again, the name of the channel should be simple. Buying a house in Palm Springs, boom. And there can be multiple channels with the same name. Again, what makes you different is that you have a different UVP or unique value proposition. So use it and abuse it. Tell them hey, this is what sets me apart from other agents. For your URL is unique. You can only change it once every 2 weeks. So that is where the actual handle, the YouTube @ whatever. So make sure that that's yours. And then with the description, let's go into that here. This is my description for my Tucson channel. It allows 1,000 characters, and you wanna make sure that you're talking to the person that you want to work with. If you work 55+ communities, then only talk about 55+ communities in there. Put as many keywords as possible. If your clients are mainly move-up buyers, talk about, hey, if you don't know how to sell a house and buy a house at the same time, that's exactly what I focus on. These are the neighborhoods that I focus on. Again, whatever you put out online, as you know, you're gonna get back in return. So if you're talking about neighborhoods that are 45 minutes away and you actually don't want to drive out that way, don't put it on your YouTube channel. And then never share it with friends, never share it with family that isn't actually planning, ready, willing, and able to buy in Palm Springs. So the 3 different content types. Who has heard of top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel? Okay, perfect, yeah. The top of funnel, the goal is to get more views. It's not to sell, it's not to get a booked call. These types of videos, we're now getting into a little bit more short form content like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. These types of, because YouTube, you can actually do top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom all in one. That's hey, these are the topics that you're most likely interested in. This is what I do, book a call, the top, middle, and bottom. But for short form content, you don't have 20 minutes to be babbling. So you have 20 seconds, before people scroll. Actually, people scroll every 1.5 seconds. So if you don't hook them with the first 1.5 seconds on Instagram, that was a wasted effort on your end. So never start it off saying what everyone else says. Hey guys, I just popped on here to say they've scrolled. They have scrolled, they've gone to bed. You put them to bed. So with the top of funnel, it's meant to be a little bit more trendy. You don't have to do the trending reels, but it could be just overall views. Someone in the back is I don't want to do trends. You don't have to. You don't have to. But overall, answering the big ticket questions hey, do you even want to buy a house in 2026? Big, not about Palm Springs, not about California. What is buying a house in America right now? The middle of funnel is meant to get more engagement, maybe some DMs, maybe a share, something like that. And then the bottom of funnel, that is where that's pretty much a call to action. That's where you're like, hey, book a call with me. This is my number. This house is going for sale right now. So here are some examples of each. The top of funnel, the next one. The top of funnel, broad topics. Maybe LA versus San Diego, even though that's still a little bit, that could be considered middle of funnel. Home buying in 2026. What is the VA loan? That's a broad ass video. The middle of funnel are how to use a second home loan. What is a conventional versus a VA loan? Because at that point, you're already filtering out a bunch of people that aren't even interested in buying, but they are interested in buying somehow. That could be a referral, or it could be in your city. Do homeowners actually like living in Palm Springs? That could be an interview type where you're talking to your past clients and just like a quick yes or no. Hey, do you like living here? Oh yeah, why? Okay, cool. Do you like living here? Yeah, why? Okay, cool. There's someone that I saw that did a pretty good one on interviewing people in downtown Tucson, and they asked just regular passerbyers saying, how much do you think the average house is worth right now? And their answers were all over the board, but it's about Tucson. So that's middle of the funnel, and it causes, engagement. People are sharing it like, oh, that person thought a house in Tucson was still worth 100K. Like, they're lost. So, and then bottom of funnel, for example, Lennar Home Builder is still offering 3.99% if you go under contract by this Saturday. Like, meant to actually get the appointment. So don't try to don't try to add all three into one video on a short. But you can on YouTube, long form. So now switching up a little bit into Instagram, I maniacally track all of my closings. So on the left-hand side is just like a screenshot of the source of each. This is how I categorize my sources. The greens are the buyers that I've helped. The blue are the listings. The magenta is outbound referrals. So, because I want to know, anyway, don't matter. Before YouTube, Instagram and Facebook and somewhat in person was how I mainly started my business. But overall with Instagram, you want to make sure that you're public. Have a public profile. Otherwise, nobody's going to share your stuff. Nobody's going to see it. And a lot of people think, well, I have a business. Should I have a business account on top of my personal? I suggest no, because it's just too much work. Once you get to the point where you're working with all these clients, you don't want to then spend some time going on your personal page versus your business page. It should all be one, especially since clients want to know who you are. They don't care about what your brand or your logo looks like. Who is Robert as a person? So you want to make sure that you, I think, have just one profile. Your username should probably be the same or similar to what your channel is. It should be your name. And you should have the word realtor or real estate agent on there. I see a lot of people doing like real estate advisor or real estate counselor, and what does that mean? Does that mean that you can help me buy a house, or are you just going to give me free advice? I'm an agent. Now you know. It's again, just simple, to the point. And of course, photo should be similar or the same of what you have on YouTube, smiling, you being approachable, and if they can see you. Your bio is so important on Instagram. You have 3 lines, well, you technically have 4 lines, but people have to click the see more to get the 4th line. So pretend that doesn't even exist, because no one is going to be clicking on the see more. And a lot of people leave the see more, the 4th line, to be the most important. So the first line should be who you help, a literal I help statement. I help real estate agents double their business with YouTube. Hence my handle, Ali Garced, YouTube Realtor. My username is Ali the Agent. I'm Ali the Agent everywhere. Your second line should be a proof, or a social proof, or some sort of stat, anything that you've done with actual numbers, because everyone now is a top producing agent. If you are a real estate agent, you are a top producing agent. Top of an office of 1, probably. People just, it's anytime you see something just over and over again, think, how can you make yourself stand out? How many clients have you helped this year? How much in seller concessions have you, any dollar amount? I've helped my buyers save $3.7 million in the last 14 years. What? How? You know, some sort of like actual numeric value on there. And then the third will be typically the call to action. Instagram has a way for you to add a link, actually several links. Just have one, because confusion creates inaction. If they see more than one link, they're like, you know what, I don't want to mess around with this. Let me just click on one link. So make sure that you have the link that you actually want to bring people to. Don't let it be a link tree. Because then again, they're gonna open up that one link and think, oh my God, buyer, seller, agent, she's doing this, she has a merch shop. What? No. So the one thing, whether you help buyers or sellers, pick one, because that's who you're going to be talking to. That's as soon as that person looks at your profile and they see that this agent helps military buyers purchase with a VA loan, that they help in Tucson, Arizona, if you're PCSing to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and that this is the link to book a call with you. If I'm military and PCSing, I know that that is my girl, not the other person that says, I am a real estate advisor. Anybody? Anybody? Then, highlights. Oh, yeah, scrolling down here. So you have I have the 3 buttons here. I would also do 3 on yours as well. Client wins, well, you don't have to do the agent wins. Client wins 2026. Client wins 2027. And the most important, start here. How to work with me. And that is going to be just a 1-pager of what your call to action is. Is it to book a call? Is it to call you on a certain phone number? Is it to DM you a certain word for your lead magnet, or just schedule the Zoom call? A 1-page of start here, make it so obvious. And then you have pinned posts as well. The pinned posts, again, how to start working with you, social proof, and the third one can be life, fun, your background, anything else like that. Instagram settings, you could probably just take a screenshot of this. I'm not gonna go line by line on this one, but you wanna make sure that you're public. You wanna make sure that if you think that you're shadow banned, I get asked this question like, oh, I'm stuck in like 200 view jail or whatever. Like Instagram has shadow banned me. You can check if they shadow ban you, like right there. So if you have all 4 green checks or 3 green checks, you're good to go. Otherwise, you can just follow the prompts and then fix it, and then just continue to make better and better content. Better usually comes after more. So you get better with more content. So start putting stuff out there. How to actually work Instagram. Oh, I think I just turned this on. Test. Anyway, try to post 1 reel a day. And for stories, 5 to 7 stories. It's a lot. She just took a deep breath. Woo, she sat back. She said, what? Try. Again, doesn't have to be polished, doesn't have to be edited. It could be you talking head at the gym. Hey, I just got done with my gym workout. You know, like just you being a person. I'm about to go to a home buyer inspection with this new build in this part of town. If you have any questions about this new build, they have a couple more floor plans. Anyway, talk to you later. Simple. Like just put stuff out there. Spaghetti in the wall when you're first starting out. And then over time, you're gonna see what hits, what do people actually engage with, and then make more of that, double, triple down on that. If you use edits, Adam Mosseri, who is the CEO of Instagram, said that Instagram pushes people's videos out that use edits. So maybe try that. It's free. If you care to even edit, all you really have to do is just click on the edit, and then not even actually edit, but it will post it as if you went through edits, so it'll push your stuff out a little bit further. But overall, what works on social media is just like engaging content. There are no like tips and tricks of like, do this and share it and engage with people beforehand. Don't overwhelm yourself. You're not doing this to be a content creator. You're doing this to put the message out there that you are a real person that actually cares for their clients. Instagram stories, this is where you can sell. This is where where people won't look at your page and see all these reels of buy now, call now, open house, listing. Do that in the stories, because they only last 24 hours. Do around like 5, 7 just lifestyle stories per day, talking about you as a person, the clients that you've helped. Post some like quizzes, some engagement stuff. That's the point. So for example, every year I post this. I probably should post this way more than this. But I post a story. The background is a house that I sold a couple of years ago. And I'll say, hey, I just did an equity review. And just by the client sitting in the house, they gained $100,000. If you want to know how much equity you may be sitting on, let me know. And then I post a little quiz like this. They click one of the three, and then we start a conversation. Even if they click, no, I don't give a shit about how much my equity is, they've still engaged. And you can say, ha ha ha, you still respond to them, but don't sell them. Like, just engage back. Ha ha, that's funny that you clicked that. Do you want to sell a house? Just kidding. Every person that votes, reach out to them though. Just to talk, just to run your mouth. Trial reels. Who here posts trial reels? One. The 18-year-old content creator, two. Perfect. Okay, trial reels is highly recommend. Trial reels was invented by Instagram for the content creators that actually that have a pretty big following, to test it out with an audience that doesn't know you. So what does that mean for you? Is anything that you post in trial reels only goes to non-followers. This is what you want. So, because if it's only going to be shown to people that don't know who you are, this is a way for them to get to know who you are. So you can do middle of funnel or bottom of funnel in these without overwhelming your already followers with bottom of funnel, bottom of funnel, bottom of funnel, which can work, but over time it gets repetitive for them. And then after you have posted, you can push the ones that do well onto your main page, or you can just keep it there and make more and more trial reels. So this is where you can actually test different stuff. Like, what if I try to be a little bit more meaner on this one? What if I try to be a little bit more of a nerd on this one and actually talk about the history? Maybe people like that. Just test stuff, put it out on trials, see what works, double down. Facebook. I repurpose my videos from long form, and I'll go into my procedures at the second half of this after we take a break. But overall, there's a quick button for you to link your Instagram to your Facebook, and that's that. I don't even log into Facebook really. I log into Instagram, I post the reel, it automatically has it toggled on where it's gonna also post to Facebook. Life is good. And then if you want to, who does not have this on yet? I think you may need a professional account for Facebook. At that point, it's worth it for that, especially if you want to run ads.
Oh, what was that?
It's my last sentence.
No, just what you want to do if you want to add ads.
Oh yeah, there are videos on how specifically how to link the two. But when you go to post on Instagram, at the bottom there should be a see more extra, and then it says, do you also want to post on Facebook? And then it'll also say, do you want to continuously post on Facebook? Just make sure that that's turned on, and you should be able to link it that way. Otherwise, you may want to go to the Facebook Meta Center and connect the two accounts there. Simply posting on Facebook is not enough. It's really not. Just because you're making a lot of reels doesn't mean that people are actually going to reach out to you. You reach out to them, again, until you have so much business that you're I don't have time to reach out to people anymore. And I have to increase my prices. DM every single follower. That's what I did. Every single person that was a Facebook friend of mine, I DM'd year one. Same thing with Instagram, year one. Every single person. How much do you want business? Some scripts of what I say for my hooks is, out of the last 20 clients that I had, 18 of them had all of their closing costs covered by sellers. They didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. Today, we're talking about the Tucson real estate market. That's a pretty good opener. That shows proof, that shows pretty much what you do without saying, I'm Allie Garcette, I'm a real estate agent. It shows actual stats of how you will help them. A soft call to action is what I mentioned before. By the way, I don't think I even realized this. I'm a real estate agent. And then carry on with the video. Or I've helped 11 other clients just this year alone do the same thing. And then carry on with the video. The hard call to action is, once you know you're moving to Palm Springs, book a call with me. What I do, I used to say, whether you're looking to purchase now or even a year from now, if you think that you're going to be PCSing to Davis-Monthan, book a call with me. And then what would happen is people would book a call with me that was just like, they were so far out. They're like, I think I'm gonna get orders at Davis Monthan, but they didn't even have soft orders, they didn't have hard orders, and it was just calls just to chit chat, just as a feel good for them. And then what do you know? They didn't end up getting the orders, and we all just wasted time. So now mine is different. Mine is once you know you're moving to Davis Monthan. I don't say once you have orders, because usually you'll get orders like 2 weeks before. There's no time to buy a house then. But whatever you want your call to action to be, make sure it's specific, that it's not going to waste your time or their time. And you always tell them what the next steps are. Once you know XYZ, once you know that you want to purchase in Palm Springs versus LA, call me, text me, or email me, whatever it is, give them one call to action, and this is what to expect after that. You never want to like lead people to a call to action where they don't know what the next step is. Make them feel comfortable. This is what's going to happen, step by step. You and I will meet over Zoom, and the stuff that I already mentioned. Equipment. If you wanted to spend a little bit of money, believe it or not, the most important part of a video is the audio, because if they can't hear you, doesn't matter how pretty you look. Well, I guess with some men, maybe. So if you wanted to go super, super cheap on the left-hand side, just purchase like a $20 lav mic. That's it. And then use your phone. It's gonna be a little bit of a hassle because uploading your phone into a Google Drive or giving it to an editor if you wanted to use an editor, or even uploading it to YouTube is gonna take hours and hours. You're gonna have to do it overnight. You're gonna have to like literally do it before you go to sleep, not touch your phone, because if you X out, it's gonna stop it, and then you're gonna wake up the next morning and see connection error. You're gonna be like, no. So then eventually you're gonna go to the middle column and you're just gonna get like an SD card, an actual camera. By the way, these QR codes, I don't make anything from it. It's just a link to Amazon directly or their website directly. So I'm not trying to make a buck. I use the Osmo Pocket 3. It's about $600. It's pricey, but it's worth it because I was just tired of going to sleep, waking up the next morning and being like, oh, did my video upload? And it didn't. And then I'd have to wait until the next night, or your phone started to upgrade. Oh my God, forget about it. And then if you want to go super expensive, the Sony FX30 is a really, really good camera. Also get the lens. That'll be like at least $2,500. Editors. Who here has an editor? Noah, the cameraman. Okay, one person, perfect. I'm about to show you exactly what I post to find an editor, but overall, again, don't let the cost of an editor stop you from posting. Just post, okay? Because the point is to get your personality out there, to get your knowledge out there, for you to start being seen. If you can pay for a short form editor, that'll be like 10 or 15 bucks on online jobs, on Fiverr.com. Or long form, like I said before, 80 bucks plus another 20 if you get every revision back to me within 24 or 48 hours. Just remember, the reason that you don't have your appraisal license, the reason that you don't have your videography license is because you're not a videographer. You are a negotiator. So don't think that you now have to learn the skill of editing, pass it off to somebody else. You can certainly get it done for cheap enough. You can get it done for cheaper than this. And focus on what you do best, which is sell real estate. This is the exact job posting that I use to find an editor on online jobs.ph, so the PH is for the Philippines, and Fiverr. Basically what I do is I give an idea of someone else's channel. I give 2 links. Here's my channel. This is what my channel looks like now. I never want it to be less quality than this. It's only going to get better. And here is the video channel of who I like. And usually what I post right now, I really like Jeff Sue. He's in a different industry. He used to work for Google. He's techie. I just like his automations. So I always say these are the types of edits that I'm going for. Make me look like Jeff Sue. And then I give an example of a raw footage. So I've already created a video. I give them the Google Drive to the raw footage that I've already created. And I say, send me a 1-minute sample, unpaid, or you could probably pay $5. Send me a 1-minute sample. I just want to see what you can do. And that's the best way to start feeding people out, because you're going to get a lot of people reaching out to you, depending on what price you say that you're going to pay, right? So give a 1-minute sample. We'll see if we're a good fit. take the top 2 and hire them both because you're always gonna have churn. First half was social media, specifically the YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook, what to say. Then clients book a call with you. What do your systems look like now? So I'm gonna show you exactly what I do, how I say it, how I structure it, what the flow is, to give you some ideas. If you wanna copy and paste the whole thing, do it. If you don't like something that I do, you wanna make your own, do it. So, after I have posted a long form video on YouTube, I use Opus Clips. So the next couple of slides are gonna be tools that I use. Opus Clips comes at a cost, like they go by credit, so you know how companies go by credits, that way you don't know how much you're paying. But it's essentially like $30 a month. It really depends on how many YouTube videos you put on there, how long it is. But they will take a long form clip, so mine are typically like 25-minute long videos. They'll take that clip, they will turn it into 10, 20, 30 short form clips, and you can watch each of them. It'll rank it for you. This is what we think the #1 producing short form clip from your long form is gonna go. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 30. It'll tell you the reasons why they think #1 is #1, and you can just straight up copy and paste that over to your Instagram, which is already linked to your Facebook. You can throw it into TikTok. These repurposed videos aren't to go viral because you're not making these videos just for Instagram or just for TikTok. It's gonna be obvious that it's repurposed from a long form video, but the purpose is to show the TikTok audience, the Instagram audience, that you are also on YouTube. So it'll put more SEO juice out there for you, that you work in Palm Springs, that you're a real estate agent, that you help sellers net the most. And you don't have to use every single one. I would say typically out of 30 clips it'll give you, I typically use around 20, maybe 15. But they're pretty good, and it's getting better because it's using AI. You can also throw captions on there. You can pay a little bit extra if you want to actually schedule it through Opus, so that way you don't have to take it every single day. Monday's reel, Tuesday's reel. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole 30. I now have a whole month of one reel being posted every single day.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
So the videos, the long videos, does it have to take it from YouTube, or if you have a long form, can you upload it and then can it do it like that too?
Good question. I believe it has to be a public YouTube video. Yeah, I think I've tried posting a Google Drive link and it didn't work, or like an unlisted or private YouTube video, it didn't work. That's as of now. It could change. I could be wrong right now, but the last time I checked, it had to be public, already posted on YouTube. There are other alternatives too. You don't have to use Opus Clips. Riverside does this, and I'm sure a bunch of other companies now do this too. I also use ManyChat. ManyChat starts at $25 per month. It increases based off of how much engagement you have. Who here has heard of ManyChat? Okay, cool. Oh my God, this is fun. Let me continue schooling you then. So ManyChat is when you see a post or a reel that says, comment the word slides, and I'll give you my entire slide deck, which is what I'm gonna give you at the end. So for example here, if you DM me on Instagram, the word workshop, I'll give you the entire workshop of how I use ManyChat. I'm not gonna go into like the super specifics, I'm just giving you overall, what are some tools that I use in my business. So the purpose of ManyChat is to get the people, it's essentially you're going fishing, like you're going fishing, who bites? It's to get the bites. People that actually DM you the word home buyer, they're probably willing to buy a house with you. And that's what starts the conversation without you having to be the one DMing every single person that liked your video, that commented on your video. So again, the more inbound you can get, the less work on you, the faster you can grow your business and spend your time on other things. I had a question over here.
Is that the kind of thing, like for instance, there's an influencer, one of them I was following, and she would do a whole thing on, say for instance, fur for the season. And then she'd say, just write fur for this season in your thing, or text me, message me, fur for the season, And then you get the whole links to all these different places to get the looks,
Mm-hmm.
the different fur fashions.
Yes.
You know, faux fur.
Yeah.
Oh, faux fur.
Yeah.
Is that what you?
That's exactly it. Yep, they're using ManyChat.
Okay.
So you want to be careful as far as which platform or which apps you use for Instagram, but ManyChat is approved. Otherwise, you don't want to spend all this time and effort building up your social media, and then you use some third-party app to see who unfollowed you, and then you get banned, because once you get banned from Instagram, it is like so hard to recover, very hard. You literally have to like make a sheet of paper, put your name, put your Instagram number, hold it up and take a picture every single day like you're an inmate. Yeah. Unless you have a connection with somebody that works for Meta, don't mess around, but ManyChat is approved. So yes, so the point of ManyChat is to get engagement, whether they comment on a reel, DM you a specific word, and that's where you give away a lead magnet. You can either have an automation set for just text. What the answer is, a PDF, a link, a YouTube video, a website. So anything that you want to draw people toward, have that be on your ManyChat. Text replacement, easy peasy. iPhones, Androids do this. I save so much time with using shortcuts as text messages. So the common examples of what I'm texting, what I would be texting over and over again are, remember how I told you how I put my phone number out there in my first couple of YouTube videos and it was a damn mistake? I'm still getting those calls and texts and saying, you know, a long paragraph saying, hi, I'm Nancy, my husband and I are moving to Tucson, the whole story about what they want. So I will text them back a text replacement, a shortcut on my phone that says, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm super excited to start working with you. This is exactly what to do to get started. If you haven't watched this video yet, watch this video, which is pretty much how to work with me. Then book a call on my calendar. Any date and time you see available is my calendar, so book a call whenever you and your spouse are available. I look forward to working with you. Instead of me texting all that out every single time, all I do is type in buyer with 3 R's, and the whole thing populates. I do the same thing when I introduce buyers to lenders. It's the same text every single time. Hey, this is one of my preferred lenders, Matt Labazetta. He's with Guild Mortgage. He specializes in the VA loan in Tucson, Arizona. XY client name 1, client name 2. This is, they're looking to purchase, just the introduction. It's the same thing every single time. I have the whole thing with Matt. Oh, I only have A through C here. I have a lot of shortcuts. So all I do is just type in Matt with an extra T. That's how I remember things, because I'm gonna be typing in buyer anyway. I'm gonna be typing in Matt anyway. So instead of thinking of a different keyword, I just use the word that I would normally use anyway, just add an extra letter and it'll pop up. So think about like what text are you constantly sending all the time and put it as a replacement. So the funnel before the buyer broker is signed. So people have watched your videos, they booked a call on your calendar. This is how I do it. In my Calendly specifically, which is the QR code, I'm giving you the exact questions of the intake form of what I have buyers fill out. So this is my buyer Calendly. If you want it, go ahead and use it. Calendly allows up to 10 questions max for an intake form. So, and I have them fill out all 10 questions. There are different forms, different rules of thought here where some agents just want as little friction as possible, just get the call. I want as maximum amount of friction as possible, so that way I know if they booked a call, I am the favorite, I'm not the fool. And I'll go into that a little bit later. So I ask all 10 questions. If you use this QR code, you'll see that one of the questions is, how many of my YouTube videos have you watched? This is super important because I want the number to be 8 or more. I have found in my research that if the clients have watched at least 8 videos, they're sold. Like they love me, we're working together and it's gonna be a good time. If they've watched 7 or fewer, then I will see that as soon as I look at my calendar and look at their questions or answers that they responded with. And if it says 7 or less, I will send out Going back to my replacement, I will send out another shortcut from my phone that says, hey, I'm so excited to work with you, Vlada. I see that you booked a call with me. You haven't watched as many videos as my clients normally do. I'm straight up. You haven't watched as many videos as my clients normally watch. These 3 videos are the top videos that have helped my past clients. Please watch them before our call this Friday. And then the day before, Thursday, I will reach back out and say, hey, Vlad, I just want to make sure, did you watch those 3 videos? And are you and your spouse able to make the call tomorrow? Perfect. So I will do that manually because the rest on Calendly, I already have as automated. With Calendly, you can automate the emails, however many emails you want, videos in the emails, links, the text messages going to you and the invitee. So with those 2 together, I love it. Calendly then texts me immediately after booking. So-and-so booked a buyer call, so-and-so booked a discovery call, whatever. I also have it set up so where they text the client as well, and they text the client the link. I barely have any no-call, no-shows because of the amount of reminders that I give out. I don't want any confusion that you're the one that booked the call for this Friday at 4. Show up Friday at 4, you know? So then I put them, so I'll look at my calendar. I'll see all their questions that they answered, price point, number of videos that they've watched, their names, the timelines, stuff like that, requirements, must-haves, deal breakers, wants. And then from the little information that I've gotten there, I go into my CRM, I put them on a little drip. It's a basic drip, it's not the final drip. Obviously, we haven't even met yet, but I just start giving them some information. I also have buyer email 1 sent out from my Calendly automatically, where it gives them the link to more videos to watch. Again, I just want them to continue to be bought in. And it assumes the sale. I don't say, hey, I hope that you work with me. I say, I'm excited to start working with you. All they did was book a call. They haven't signed anything, but I'm assuming that I'm gonna be their real estate agent. So I say, I'm excited to start working with you. This is what the next steps are gonna look like. And again, I'm always telling them what's happening next, what's happening next. Overall, my rule of thumb is if a client asked me a question, I am behind. I should have answered that question before they even had it as a question. Then, like I mentioned before, my TC, I'll send over the information to my TC. My TC fills out the buyer broker. I review it for accuracy before the meeting. I don't submit it yet, and then I submit it once we're on the Zoom call. I also use Zapier. Don't ask me for help on Zapier. I just had a friend make it for me. Yeah, there are companies out there that specialize in Zapier. You are not an automations expert. Don't waste your time. Spend a little bit of money for the companies that actually know what the heck they're doing, or solo people that are just nerds at it, and have them do it for you. Hey, can I pay you $100 to set up this system? I use a system every single time. So yeah, overall, the Zapier connects a bunch of different platforms, like hundreds of different platforms. So I only have one Zap too. Like I'm not like crazy automations, crazy AI. I try to keep things simple. What my Zapier connects is the Calendly to my Google Calendar, to my email, and to my CRM. So when someone books a call, they fill out the questionnaire, it automatically zaps into my calendar, so I can see it Friday at 4, the whole hour time block, I see their answers. Everything that they put in that questionnaire, their name, email, number, what they're looking for, the preferences, deal breakers, must-haves, wants, needs, it creates a new contact in my CRM, and it pretty much connects to any single CRM. It creates a new contact, it has them checked off as buyer, and it adds the new note of everything that they filled out. So that way it's ready to go. I don't need to be wasting time creating a new contact. What is their email? Oh no, I made a typo. Let automation do that.
What percentage do usually people fill all your 10 questions?
Good question. They fill out everything. They fill out all 10 questions. Yeah, I've never had somebody, well, maybe like because I have 3 in the middle there that you probably saw from my Calendly. I have, what are your 3 must-haves? What are your 3 wants, but they're not necessary in a house? And what are your 3 deal breakers? Sometimes they don't have all three, and that's okay. Sometimes they don't really know yet what a want is versus a need. So, but everything else they answer. And if they don't, they wouldn't, because like if they're going to be answering all 10 questions, they're serious about buying a house. They kind of have an idea.
What are the top
So yeah.
Do we have the questions?
Yeah, the questions are here. This is what that's my Calendly. Those are the questions that I have. The QR code.
Oh, it's not a QR code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but overall, it's name, email number, what are the 3 must-haves, the 3 wants, the 3 deal breakers. I come back to the deal breakers later to take houses off of the list that they're sending me. And then how many videos have you watched? Are all parties going to be on the call? And some other questions on there too. Superhuman is another tool that I use. This is paid again. And I have a 1-hour, in that QR code, I have a 1-hour workshop on how to use Superhuman. It's similar-ish to Fixer. For those with EXP, you get Fixer for free if you cap. I had been using Superhuman for years already. The point of it is to reduce the amount of time that you're spending in email. I now have a virtual assistant that runs my email. I don't check email. I hate email. But back when I did do email, and the little times that I do, I use Superhuman because it's all keyboard shortcuts. It's made to make things go a lot faster. Instead of, this sounds so nerdy of me, but in the time that it takes for you to lift your hand up from your keyboard, to move it to your mouse, to then mess around and look at your sent inbox and look for, what was the last email that I sent to Mallory? No, all you have to do is just /Mal, everything pops up. So it's like, it's a super brain. Seriously, like you don't need to use the mouse. This is where my real nerd shows up. I may be autistic. All right. So overall, this is a way for you to like categorize your emails a lot faster, because emails can, as you know, man, emails can take such a long time. We get hundreds every single day, and a lot of it's spam. So it's a good way to add more filters as to what actually comes through and just reduce the amount of time. The difference, I asked ChatGPT this, what the difference is between Fixer, because I've never used Fixer, but some brokerages cover it. The difference between Fixer and Superhuman, Fixer is a little bit more helpful when it comes to creating responses. So all you have to do is just like literally open your email, see the inbound email that you just got from a client, and Fixer has already created a paragraph for you to send. Where, yeah, based off of your previous conversations you've already had. So it's like tailored to you. Superhuman isn't, it's getting there, but more so it's keyboard shortcuts. Pop, 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 done, send.
With Fixer too, if you have it set up with follow bots, and you have like, say you have someone that's a warm lead, like it'll auto-generate that email for me, and then like all I gotta do is go in there and go follow up, and I'll see every day what emails. I don't have to think about that person or where they're at. I just know it's been 10 days and they need to be contacted. Here's the email that's already drafted up, and I hit send.
Yeah.
And I filter out like if it's someone that I'm like, okay, I talked to them 2 days ago in person, I'm not gonna email them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. Like these email helpers help a lot more than humans do.
Yeah.
A lot more.
That is a lot of time down.
Yeah. And then also you can see read receipts. So that way when you tell your client, oh, hey, like I sent you buyer email too. Did you review it? You could see if they've opened it. And then the smart delay options where you could have like the bounce back. This is Gmail's boomerang. If you've heard the boomerang, like, hey, I don't want to email this yet. Or I've sent them a response, but I want to be able to follow up. If I told the showing agent to show up at, I don't know, Thursday, 4 p.m., I'm gonna have it boom back to me or remind me Wednesday, the day before, so I can remind them. Yeah, stuff like that.
Is the emails look too much AI?
No.
No, because it's based off your language.
Yeah.
So if you say wanna, like W-A-N-N-A, it'll type it like that instead of want to. Yeah.
AI is getting really smart with this.
Yeah,
They can,
it mimics.
yeah, follows what I usually put out.
My buyer presentation, everything in blue is what I say. These are my scripts. So when a buyer books a call with me, first I'll make sure that all parties are there. If not, I will cancel it. I've never had to, but because of the amount of like follow-up that I do beforehand, I'm like, make sure all parties are on the call. I've been burned before where I've literally gone under contract because the military spouse said, oh, no, my wife will just agree with anything that I say. He didn't say it like that, but I took his word, and we went under contract on a house without me ever talking to, this is my second deal ever, without me ever talking to the wife. We're under contract, and the wife goes, what the hell kind of house is this? I hate it. And I was like, are you kidding me? You told me that you talked to your wife. They got a divorce. But, oh my God, lesson learned. All parties must be on the call, so don't make my mistake. So what I say is, after some rapport, right? Like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm so excited to meet you. Anna and Raquel, right? Yeah, cool, whatever. Go through some rapport. Then I say, I take this call in 3 parts. The first part is going over the questionnaire that you answered, because I want to know exactly what you're looking for. I want to go over must-haves, some wants, but more importantly, some deal breakers, because there are some areas that you may not like. There are some types of houses that you may not like, or maybe like a year built that you may not like. I want to know exactly what you're looking for, so that way I don't send you shit via the drip. And they're like, oh, haha, cool. And then the second part we're going to go over is the Tucson market today. Whether or not you're purchasing now, I see that you're not going to be PCSing here for another 6 months. The market's going to be different in 6 months from now, but I'll tell you what it's like today, so that way you can get a sense of what we're looking at now. Then the last part is going to be the next steps going forward, what it looks like to work with me and my team. Sound good? And they're like, yeah, cool. And then that's when I go into the weeds. I go through every single question that they answered. I ask more questions. And then during that, I also tell them, during the Tucson market, I talk about their price point, right? Because one of my questions in the questionnaire is, what is your price point? And in the price point, it's a radio button. So it's like anything under 200,000, parentheses, that's a mobile home. Anything between 200 and 500, not a pool yet. Anything between 500 and 700, you'll likely have a pool in your backyard. Anything above 700, this is considered luxury in Tucson. So that way they get a sense of, oh, if I want a pool, I can't be looking at $200,000 houses. It just gives them a little bit more like a realistic feel of what the market is. And then when I go into chapter 2 of the Zoom call, where we go on I go over the days on market, what the seller concessions typically are, what the sales price to list price ratio is, like how much are sellers actually getting. Right now, on a $400,000 house, sellers are typically getting 95% of what they're asking for. So what that means for you is I break down the numbers. If we're looking at a $400,000 house, we're not looking at making an offer at 300. Just wanted to let you know that. And I tell them that. I also say, what a lot of agents I think don't say is like, I don't want to ruin my reputation. So if you do want to be like the low ball client, I can refer you to somebody else, because I want to make sure that the agents in Tucson know that when I submit an offer, we're fucking serious. And they're usually like, oh, okay. And like I get them bought in, right? And they already have heard my personality in the videos, so they know that that's what to expect. They know. I'm a New Yorker, and I was in the military. I was a major, so they kind of know that. Then in the third part, that's where I go over my team, right? Because it's how to work with me and my team. So once we start finding houses, and actually, based off of the clients that I've helped, and I've helped over 200 clients, the clients that loved their decision were the ones that knew exactly what their must-haves were and their deal breakers, and they narrowed it down from this list of 100 homes to between 5 and 7. And I pause. I let that sink in with them, like, oh, we're not gonna be looking at 145 homes? We're looking at 5 to 7? Okay, let's go to this, like these must-haves, these deal breakers, and really narrow it down. On average, I typically show a client between 8 and 10 homes. So then part 3 of the Zoom call, that's where I'm like, introduce my team. So what happens is once we've narrowed down the list of homes to like between 5 and 7 homes, then at that point, as soon as you're pre-approved, and I'll connect you with pre-approvals because I see that you checked you don't have a lender yet. As soon as you're pre-approved, that's when we can start viewing. Once we start viewing, I'm gonna be connecting you with some showing agents that are gonna be there. You will never miss out on viewing a property because I have a whole team that's ready to go for you. And so I don't say, I'm not gonna be the one showing the houses. I say I have a whole team and you will never miss out on viewing a house as soon as you're pre-approved. And then when we go over the compensation, I don't wanna get too in the weeds, again, because NAR and everything like that, percentages. But I say, let me stick to what I said to be a little bit more kosher. Okay, so typically when I go over my prices, being that I charge more than other agents. I am more expensive than other agents, and I will say that. But I want to let you know that before we ever go under contract, you're gonna know exactly how much you're paying toward my fee and how much the seller is paying toward my fee. And then I go and that leads me right into like the NAR changes that happen and how the money flows differently, because usually they don't know. But I try to educate them as much as possible. Plus I have all this backed by email as well, just to remind them. Like at this time, sellers are typically paying around X amount toward my fee. That typically leaves an overage of X amount toward my fee, which would be coming out of your pocket. Again, you will know exactly how much you're going to pay me before we go under contract. I don't like surprises. Surprises are the worst things to happen in real estate, and you will not be surprised with this. Does that sound good? They're usually like, yeah, because what the clients want is clarity and comfort. Yes?
So, now how do you promise them that when usually you don't know until you submit?
Right,
the
yeah.
offer?
Yeah, so as we submit the offer, we're going over how much earnest money and purchase price and all of that. And at least in Arizona, there's a separate form of how much we want the sellers to pay the buyer agent. So we've spoken about this. Hey, we're gonna be requesting this amount, meaning if they accept this, which expect a counter, but if they expect this, this is how much you'll be paying toward my fee. And if you wanna know the closing costs, reach out to the lender. They'll give you a better estimate of the closing costs separately from what our fee is. Yeah, and then once the counter comes in, then it's, hey, this is amount to change.
Oh, so it comes in the counter?
Yeah. And beforehand, like, hey, if we submit this offer, this means that you're paying this amount. Yeah, because the last thing I want to do is go under contract and then back out, try to trick anybody, like that's a way to ruin your reputation. Client expectations, continued, part 2. Using words in your videos, such as my partners and I, my team and I hear that the word team sometimes is like pretty forbidden in some states, like you can't use it or something. So my showing agents, just my real estate partners. Expectation management during the buyer call. I remind them that they booked a call because I'm gonna get them the best damn deal possible. Like I'm a negotiator by trade. Like that's what I did for 10 years in the Air Force, and I'm gonna continue doing so. You're not hiring me so I can open up a door for you. There are other people that are gonna be there on time, ready to go, like ready for me to pay them to show you a house. And then once we get to the home searching process, that's when my business partner will be the boots on ground with you. So what happens after the buyer broker? During the Zoom call, I sign it, I send it over to them. I say, we've gone over the buyer broker agreement. Here, it should be in your inbox. He'll probably hit one of your inboxes first, then the other. Once you both have signed it, shoot me a text. And then that's when I can legally start working with you. Otherwise, I can't take any steps. And then as far as showing agents, so once we get to showing, like once they're pre-approved, of course, and we start showing houses, I typically pay $40 per house, $50 per house for a showing agent. I used to use Show-A-Me, and if you're with EXP now, like there's like an extra layer of liability, I guess, where like we can't pay showing agents directly. It has to go through the brokerage. So just make sure that you're doing everything kosher with whatever brokerage you're in. Ask your broker. But previously, what I was doing before was I had a list. I used Show-A-Me. Show-A-Me takes a cut, or Show-A-Me, however you pronounce it. I like Show-A-Me. And then I take the list of showing agents that my clients like the best. Because of course I'm gonna ask the clients, hey, how was the showing with Mallory? Oh, Mallory didn't show up on time. Really? Okay, I'm never using Mallory again. Check. I have a whole like Excel sheet of preferred agents, like prefer everything, right? Like referral agents that actually close, referral agents that drop the ball. Good and bad, I have a list. Anybody that's bad, I have them saved in red, so that way I know to never use them. So yeah, I don't pay per hour, otherwise that just incentivizes a long day. And I tell the showing agent, this is the list of 8 homes that the clients wanna see. Are you available on Saturday at 2? XYZ, whatever. At this point, my TCs are doing this. That's why I pay a TC. I don't even schedule the showing agent. What the showing agent does is they schedule the whole home tour, right? And actually, let me back up a little bit. Before we even get to the list of 8, chances are the clients have sent me a list of 12. I go back to my Google Calendar and look at their initial questionnaire of the must-haves and the deal breakers. And I look for any discrepancies, because my goal is to knock stuff off the list. If you said a requirement was a house with a fully fenced backyard, these 2 houses don't fit. So like, what's going on? I'll text them like, hey, what's going on there? And if they still want to see the house, now I'm confused, because I'm giving them houses that don't meet their criteria. And if that was a deal breaker and we're gonna go see the house, I want to schedule another buyer agent call number 1. Like, let's all jump on a Zoom call, because I'm confused. That alone will usually snap the buyers back into reality, thinking, oh wait, I do need a fence. I'm gonna stick with those houses. Let's take those houses off the list. So that's always what I do based off their requirements, not mine. You said that was a deal breaker for you. So then we narrow down the list. I also narrow down the list by looking at the MLS documents, any uploaded stuff, the spuds, if it's VA approved, if it's a short sale, so stuff that would not work. I bring it to their attention. I give them all of the documents that are uploaded to the MLS already. And I say, hey, review this. I also use BombBomb. I should have included that. I also use BombBomb, or you can also use Loom to create a video of you sharing your screen. Hey, these are the list of 10 houses that you sent me. Before we actually go view, please do these 3 things. 1, go on maps.google.com, virtually walk the neighborhood if you're not here, if you're still in Germany. If you're in person, go to the neighborhood first, because if you don't like the neighborhood, there's no point of looking at the house. And then number 3 is look up the crime data. I can't tell you whether this is a safe neighborhood or not, because my definition of safe as a New Yorker is most likely different than yours. So look up the crime maps and look for yourself if you're gonna be safe. Other things that you may want to look at is the sidewalks. Are there lights? Are you going to feel comfortable driving around at night? If you want extra credit, go to the neighborhood at Saturday at 11 p.m. and physically walk outside the neighborhood. Do you feel comfortable? If not, let's not even view the house on Monday. So I send them a Loom saying that. I also send them the Loom or BombBomb sharing my screen with all of the spuds, all the information, the clue report or whatever you guys call it for insurance, anything that the listing agent has uploaded. And I give them some helpful tips. Hey, you're looking at this neighborhood. They don't allow cars in the driveway. You have to park your cars inside the garage. If that's gonna be a deal breaker, let's take this one off the list. Anything that, that I see. Hey, the roof hasn't been replaced. It's an original roof and it's a 1993 house. That might be a little, iffy. So anything that I'm trying to reduce the list so that way we're actually getting a high quality list and making the most out of the showing. Then after that, once we're under contract, I pay $150 for typically the same showing agent, if not another agent who's available, to be there during the inspections. I don't schedule the inspections. That's what TCs are for. So that my transaction coordinator, who also has her own TC, is the one who reaches out to the showing agent, and the showing agent's the one that schedules the whole tour. The TC reaches out to that showing agent again to sit in during the inspections the whole time. In Arizona, a licensed agent has to be there the entire time. The licensed agent then texts me afterward and gives me the highlights. Hey, the roof was found to be super bad. It appears to have some mold, XYZ, whatever the highlights are, or the house is good to go. I tell the clients, I'm not a home inspector. I cannot tell you whether this house is good or bad. Again, I'm your negotiator. In the home inspection report, which is going to be 75 pages long, even if it's a new build, it has the phone number of the inspector. Call them directly and tell them this. You do this all day, every day. What worries you about this property?
That's pretty nice.
And so that way I have the clients call the inspectors directly. So that way they're not listening to me. We are not ones to give advice as to whether a house is in good condition or not, unless you have the licenses. So after they have reached out to the listing agents or the inspectors, then at that point, during the due diligence, that's when we get back together again. We meet over Zoom again, and we go over the inspection reports. The good, the bad, the ugly, and we go over what they don't feel comfortable with, what they want to ask for, and that's when we renegotiate. So that's Zoom call number 2 at that point. Then we also meet over Zoom before closing. So that way, and the whole time, we have a group chat where it's me, both buying parties, or however many buying parties there are, the lender on their personal phone, and both of my TCs. So it's a party in that group chat. But in case I'm out, or in case one of the TC's out, it's just extra reinforcement. So that way, if I can't answer a text, my TCs know to answer. If it's a question related to the interest rate or locking in, the lender's in the group chat. The lender works nights and weekends, so they get the most amount of communication as possible, and everything is put in the group chat. Those are my systems. Overall, posting one long form YouTube video a week, your business is going to compound. You're gonna have 3x the amount of business that you have. Repurposing that into short form content, that's an extra, that's a bonus, that's not a requirement. The requirement is long form. Be intentional about what you say, the call to action. Again, don't make my mistake of putting your personal phone number out there if you don't answer phone calls, because believe it or not, I don't answer phone calls. Again, I have a 914 number, I'm from New York. The amount of spam that we get every single day, no way am I answering. So again, know what funnel you like. Mine is book a call on my Zoom call, and I'll meet you over Zoom. If you prefer email because you have your email set up, good to go, you manage it, unlike me, then have that be the call to action. But just be super intentional about what specifically you're telling the audience to do. Be super intentional about the verbiage that you use. I'm not saying, and then I'm gonna go view the properties with you. That's a lie. I have a whole showing team that is available, so you will never miss out on a property due to our availability. Hire editors if you want, but don't let that stop you from posting. And the AI tools are available to help you with your life for like $25. That's like typically how much each thing costs. So pick one of the tools that I mentioned. If you don't have any, or if you already have some, just always try to think about how can I buy back my time to where once I have that time back, in my case, 20 hours per client, I can use that to get more clients. And then set up the proper expectations. And overall, once the demand of clients that you have booking on your calendar overwhelms you and it exceeds the supply of you as an agent, increase your price. I don't pretend to know everything. This is just how I have run my business. So if you would do something different, do it differently. It may work better. Overall, on the left-hand side is where you can follow me on YouTube. And then on the right-hand side, if you comment slide on any of my reels, you'll get this entire presentation. I don't need your email or anything like that. It's like given to you. ManyChat. Thank you for having me. I guess I'll take some questions now. I know Ahu's got some.
Yes. Can I start?
Yeah.
So regarding the editing, not editing? Okay, yes, regarding the editing, going back and forth, you tell them specific look that you want. They edit how many videos do they turn around for you, during that time? Do you post every day? Do you do weekly? How many videos do they prepare for you?
Yeah, good question. So when you hire an editor, especially at the prices that I gave, you're not their only client. So just be mindful of that. I typically post about 3 videos a month, and that's between my 2 separate channels, right? Because I have one that helps agents and one for Tucson home buyers, separate audiences. I typically go through between 2 to 4 revisions where I've given them some changes to make, and then they refer it back to me. About 2 to 3, sometimes 4 revisions, and then it's good to go. So overall, from when I send it to them, it could be around 3 weeks typically until the final product is ready to be posted on YouTube. Does that answer it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, they edit total of 6 videos for you for a month.
Yeah, and it depends on how hard I'm working. Depends on if I'm in Australia or not. But yeah. Also, too, a lesson learned is because I have that extra incentive to to give it back to me within 24 to 48 hours, I won't send them 6 videos at a time. Or if I do, I give them enough time to where I say, hey, I just recorded 3 videos because I batched. Let's start this video starting tomorrow. I'm gonna start video number 2 starting next week. I'm pretty lenient with it because I want them to continue working with me because they're good editors. And then so I tell them, and then I ask them too, like, if we start video number 2 next Friday or this Friday, does that give you enough time? And as soon as I have their buy-in saying, yeah, we should be good to go, cool. Then if it's returned within 48 hours after that date, they're getting $100. If it's after, they're getting 80.
Over here. In the beginning, you talked about setting up separate YouTube channels. Were you talking about totally separate YouTube accounts or just channels within a single account?
Oh, good question. You can use the same email as an account and then have separate channels. Yeah, so it could be, Larry the listing agent, Larry the buyer agent, how to buy a house in Palm Springs. It could be one account with separate channels. Yeah.
I already claimed the name Buying in Palm Springs.
Nice.
YouTube channel, what are they talking?
In the URL or as a title, because anybody can make the title the same thing.
Both as a handle and a URL.
Nice. Buying in Palm, that was available? Buying in Palm Springs? Wow. Way to go. Who's gonna be buying in Palm Springs too? Just kidding.
I did that while we were on. Wow.
Nice.
I've been running with great fit.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course. You can also do like buying a house in Palm Springs, moving to Palm Springs. I don't really like the living in because is that about buying? We don't know. Question.
You had mentioned not to ever send your channel to anybody or ask them to follow you. Why did you say that? What's the...
Yeah, because YouTube does a better job at marketing than the average real estate agent who does not have a marketing degree or experience. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. They have teams, divisions of people and automation that knows how to pick up a video, hears the words that you say, even reads the words in the background of your screen and puts it in front of the appropriate people. So unless you know for sure that your mom is planning on buying a house in Palm Springs and is going to not just click on your video, but watch it all the way through and then watch another video on your channel, don't send it. So my general rule is like never send your video out. Even if it has 10 views, those 10 views are good ones that YouTube did.
Coming up with the name headline for those videos. Like what do you pay attention while you are putting those? Like do you do ChatGPT and say come up with an SEO whatever headline? Like how do you...
Good question. For scripts, I hate ChatGPT. That's like it sounds so fake. It sounds so bad. Claude is a little bit better for copywriting, but I don't use Claude. I really just use my own experiences. Like as I go about my day, or as I hear about my clients, I have like a series of videos on my channel from my past clients where I ask them, what is your actual experience about living in Tucson? By the way, what was it like working with me? Would you work with me again? And then I give them like a little gift card for like their favorite restaurant that they found. Overall, it's my own version, my own writing. That's where I don't delegate out to ChatGPT because it's just going to be too basic. And ChatGPT like repurposes other people's stuff, and then you become like one of the same and not different. Yeah.
So you also give referrals to other agents in different states.
Yeah.
So for the local people, for the listings and the buyers, you use the show me.
Yeah.
And for the listings, you are the main person who's communicating with the agents, and you have somebody you are partnering up with?
Yeah, for sellers, because I'm not in Tucson, Arizona, and I haven't lived there for 3 years, despite being a top producer there, I share my listings 50-50 with someone in my community. Someone that has experience, but someone that I know is gonna be there do the open houses, actually physically walk through the property, because I'm not there. But even if you didn't like split it 50-50 or have someone else there, you could always just have a listing coordinator that does that goes out there and just takes a video of the entire property. And you can say, hey, we'll need to fix this. What's the plan to bring 1, 2, 3 up to speed before we list? Yeah, so 50-50 with listings, and then either way, I'm the main negotiator though. But I also bring in that other listing agent in the group chat too, because even though I may be the main negotiator, you're gonna be hearing from them more often, and I don't want you to think of me as more knowledgeable than my listing agent. We're equal.
So regarding that conversation, so do you all communicate in the same group message?
Yeah.
With the other agent and the client through a platform that you can monitor in a way that, like, do you use your phone or do you communicate through your CRM?
Phone,
What is-
iMessage. And if they have an Android, then we'll switch to WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, I have them download WhatsApp.
And then you introduce that other agent as your partner?
Yep, my real estate partner. Yeah, not my teammate, not someone on my downline, not used to be a showing agent. Like, no, we're like, she's good. You're gonna love her.
Using the CRM to communicate, like text message,
I do.
like follow up boss and anything like that.
I actually do. So I do use my CRM to communicate, yes, but not once we're under contract. So I have I use Bold Trail. Not the best, not the worst. It serves its purpose. So it does what I use my CRM for is the notes to make sure like we're going through each of the steps and to send the drip and to send the initial text messages. Like, hey, check out these homes and blah, blah, blah. Like just the regular buyer campaign. But that's like all automated. In our group chat with our personal phones, that's when we're like, hey, have you spoken to the lenders? Which one did you choose? Stuff like that.
So some of the, I guess, systems that you said puts that information automatically on your phone. Like I said, you're using an iPhone. It downloads it with their name and everything, and then you add everybody on the team there. Or how do you do it? Because if I did that, I would have hundreds and hundreds of phone numbers that I would have to add names to.
On your phone? Yeah, I do manually add my clients to my phone.
Okay.
Because that's where I can add either a red flag if I don't want to work with them, if something happened, no, that's a red flag, before their name. A yellow, as soon as someone books a call with me and I see them on my calendar, I add them into my phone. I add all parties into my phone with a yellow circle. Like, we're not there yet. We haven't signed the buyer broker. And then once they have signed the buyer broker, I turn that yellow circle to green. Once we've closed and I've gotten paid, I change that green circle to purple, just so I know they're a past client. They're still important. I want them to have some sort of color. That's like my little coloring system on my iPhone.
So I do that same system, but I do it on my calendar. I use the red, yellow, green. Green means go. Let's put it under contract for every appointment I make. And yellow is kind of like we're still fishing.
Yeah.
So you're using it on your
Phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a few
Sir.
questions. I got like 3, but I'll just go by one so far.
Do all 3.
So as far as like legal parameters in your videos, right? Like, so, and for me, I use Claude, and like I have a project just for real estate that's very specific to my team, to you guys as well. And and then I also say, hey, we need to be following California and national real estate laws. Like, always ensure that whatever we do is putting that out. Sometimes I still have to check it a little bit. But I was just wondering, if you use the system to like auto-generate those legal parameters, so you don't have to think about it. You know what I mean?
Do I use a system?
Yeah.
I just shy away from anything that can get me in trouble.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about anything that I mention is fact-based, and I share my screen saying, it's not me saying this is the #1 school district, it's niche.com, it's greatschools.org.
Okay.
So anything that I can pass the buck to somebody else, the liability, I'm like, I'm just reading this out loud. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing the research for you. And I don't talk about crimes. There are some, even though I do neighborhood versus neighborhood, I don't touch crime. I say, if you want to know the crime, then go on these websites.
I feel like a lot of people still ask. They ask crime and about schools, and I'm like, yeah, I have to look that up.
Yeah. And that's what I mentioned too in a lot of my videos, because that's the 2 most common questions that I get are, what's a crime, what are the school districts? And they already know that I can't answer that before we book a call. They'll literally tell me, like, I know you can't answer about the crime, but I'm like, still can't. Yeah.
So content created, I didn't hear you mention it. For short form videos, the pros of using captions.
The app?
No, like having
actual captions
on your actual
Yeah.
short form videos. Do you also do that on long forms? I don't.
No, YouTube allows you to have captions, and like the viewer can literally click captions on or captions off. So I guess that's another tip related to long form. Whenever the editors are putting words, text on the screen, I don't have them put them at the very bottom, because if they are using closed captioning, it's going to overlap and it's going to be messy to read. So I always have the text like be right under my chin.
Can you explain to them about using?
But yeah, I'll always use captions whenever you're like posting, especially a short form content. Majority of the people that watch videos are watching it on silent. They're watching it in bed while their partner is asleep. So if they can't If they can't read what you're saying, if it's not obvious what you're doing, especially with real estate, which can be kind of boring sometimes, like you want to be able to read as well as listen to you. Yeah.
Question. So I don't know if you talked about it. So do you have a strategy on kind of like a content mix? It seems that a lot of your content's evergreen, right? So do you have like a strategy on like a content mix or like educational, process, selling process, and then also kind of like a market update, neighborhood update, things like that? And also, what's your, I would say, publishing, posting schedule you have? And one last question, do you use because some people have been talking to me about it, you optimize your algorithm and all those keywords and things like that?
I'll start with that question first. Do I use vidIQ? I used to use its competitor, TubeBuddy, because TubeBuddy allowed you to upload 3 different titles, 3 different thumbnails, and have it automatically split test. So the thumbnail editor that I have, I would say, don't create just one thumbnail, we're split testing all 3. But now YouTube made it available. That was the only thing I was using TubeBuddy for. So I stopped paying for it. It was like $400 for the year or something like that, or at least between my 2 channels. So I was like, I'll stop paying for that. YouTube allows you to test 3 different titles. Always test. If it allows you to do it for free, heck yeah. And then my content post, or the frequency, is about 4 videos a month, and that's split between my 2 channels. So I have one to help real estate agents and one for Tucson, so about 2 a month in each. And the content types that I do, the ones that I will redo over and over again are like the cost of living. Even if it's the same video, like you've gotten better. You know, you probably, maybe now I have a different editor. Or even if it's the same thing, it's now updated. The audience can see this was posted 2 weeks ago, as opposed to the other one that you made 2 years ago. So I'll have like specific videos that are evergreen, but I will still redo again because I'm more comfortable in front of the camera now. And then I used to do market updates. I still kind of do, but it's mainly once a quarter because realistically, I don't want to be thought of as the agent that has the entire market memorized with every single stat. What you put out, you get back. I started doing market updates when I first got started. Population size, the growth. I went into the weeds, the amount of research that I had, which really only attracted engineer type clients that wanted to investigate every single portion. So I didn't like doing it, but if you do, and you want to continue knowing every single zip code's list price to sales price ratio, go for it, because you're gonna get money. But yeah, that wasn't for me. So I do like a general market update. If my clients are typically looking between X price and X price, so if this is you, this is kind of what to expect, generally in Tucson, but of course, if you want to buy in Vail or Marana, it's going to be different. By the time you watch this, in 2 weeks from now, it's going to be different. So book a call.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Inga.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava Vasquez. I'm a real estate agent with Ahu Kokobali Real Estate Group. I came today because we did set up the amazing event with Ali, and I was super excited to learn more about social media because I do a lot of social media content creation, but it was good learning about more specifically about real estate because I do a lot of other type of stuff. Something that I did learn today was more about YouTube, how big YouTube really is and how I can implement that into my business. She talks so much about YouTube, and I didn't even know much about YouTube. I just use more of Instagram. So now knowing about her aspect and how she did that, I would be doing that as well. Ali, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the Coachella Valley. We love learning from you. Come back. I can't wait to see you next time.
My name is Leo Martinez. I'm a local agent here in Indio, or the Coachella Valley. And I really came here to learn how to implement tools and resources to really maximize my presence on social media, including YouTube, which I'm not a big person on there, but wanted to expand on that and using all the proper tools to really market myself. And that's what we're here to do, market ourselves out there in the world. And I think this was a great experience. Things that I needed to know, wanted to know, and need to implement in my business. So overall, a great experience. The aha moment is that all these tools and resources we have or are very accessible and we don't use. And I think it's because we don't know how to properly use them. So there was just that, okay, what am I doing? What do I need to do? And how do I advance with this technology? So it's just implementing it. Well, Ali, I am super impressed with your presentation. It was very straightforward, straight to the point. It's what I like, and it's how I work with my people. It's just I want to give them the right information and be upfront for it with it, not be wishy-washy. And I just want to make sure that they have the right expectations for me and them. And I just love how you made this about the client and getting straight to it, which is getting to business. Thank you.
What's your name?
Amir.
Amir.
Yeah.
Ali. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Likewise,
So
thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So I was just telling you, I'm like, I'm going over my business plan in my mind. I'm reconsidering my business. Like,
Here we go again.
I'm messing it up.
the amount of the time that she spends on the YouTube, like doing the videos is compared to like making cold calls and sending the postcards.
Money,
It's just like money and energy. She's
Yeah.
traveling the world. She's traveling like 4 months, 5 months out of the
Nice.
year.
You always
I just got back after a 4-month trip to Asia and Australia.
nice.
Yeah.
I really
And every
wanna
time
go
I-
to Australia.
Oh my God, I'm trying to get dual citizenship there. Yeah,
Where?
Australia.
Australia.
We're really any country outside of America, but
Yeah.
Australia. Yeah,
Just exit strategy.
yeah, just in case. Just in case.
we have Turkish, so
Yeah, you guys are good.
I was like, we can go home
You're
if we
good.
want to.